the go live.
I didn't push the go live button. This is still new to me. Okay, now we're live on YouTube. Now, if you go to Audio Kitchen's YouTube, you'll see us there. Feel free to comment. Feel free to see the multiple camera angles. Also, if this live stream cuts out, which we've been having a lot of problems with recently, you'll be able to see this whole episode up on YouTube as soon as it's over. So now we're going to go ahead and get started with our vegetable and cheese omelet and some dicing skills. So let's start with a potato. This is just a little basic red potato. And the key to dicing a potato evenly is to have flat sides to work with. That's really the key for any vegetable, but particularly a potato, having flat sides makes a huge difference. So I'm going to start with my knife and make a little incision all the way through down the side. So that gives me one flat surface. Then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So I have two flat surfaces, like that and like that. Now I could go down on the ends also if I wanted perfect squares, but I don't really care about that. So I'm going to just do one more like this. Now I have three flat sides. Don't worry, that's not going to go to waste over there. We're going to use it, and I'm going to show you why we want the three flat sides in a moment. So next step is to make long slices all the way down evenly using the claw, my knuckles, and my fingernails to guide so that it's even. Scary, scary claw. So that it's even and so that I do not slice a finger off. And now, very gracefully, of course, I have beautiful slices like this. Great. And I'm using my other flat side now to go like, actually, that's a lie. Let's just take this guy off and make it even easier. To go like this and make matchsticks. So matchstick, matchstick, matchstick. These are all going to be about evenly sized. Now I got to turn this sideways one more time and make my way down the potato. Again, as even as I can so that my food cooks evenly in the pan. And when I take this all apart now, I have a beautifully perfectly diced potato, which I'm now dropping all over the floor.
Yeah.
Wow. All over the floor. So let's put that in the large nonstick skillet, which I probably should have heated with a little bit of oil ahead of time, but that's okay. So let's put that on medium-high heat, adding a little bit of grapeseed oil to the pan. Could also use olive oil, could also use butter, all good. Also adding a little bit of salt. And we are going to let these cook first because obviously potato takes longer in the frying pan than anything else. That's probably going to need about 10 minutes or so until it's cooked through enough so that it is chewy. I'm going to do the other one a little quicker now so that you can see that this actually does help you get more efficient in the kitchen. Now I've got my square. Do my slices, turn it sideways. Now I want matchsticks.
How do you make sure all of the potatoes don't just go everywhere, kind of like it did on that one?
I kind of use my hand as a little bit of a claw to keep it all together.
So the claw has dual
The claw,
purpose.
the sides of the claw can kind of squeeze on the side, and then the top of the claw.
You have to make sure to maintain claw formation.
Maintain claw formation at all times. So fingernails, knuckle, guide, thumb, and pinky, keeping it all together as I make my way down this potato and make another slice. I also need my... Where are my kitchen tools? Oh my gosh, I have so many of them and yet I can't find them. I need my scraper. That can go in.
Did you go over what you were making tonight?
Yeah, we're doing a vegetable and cheese omelet, really simple, over a bed of potatoes, little pan-fried potatoes, keeping it very, very easy. We're having breakfast for dinner.
I love breakfast for dinner.
Yep.
You guys like breakfast for dinner? Let us know.
So that's going. Now, this would not normally go to waste. I would cut this up and put it in with the potatoes. I'll do one for you just so you can see how it's done, but I don't want this to go too long. So now that I have these pieces, these are essentially the same as one of my rectangles from before. So all I need to do is go down this way, turn it sideways once, and then go down the other way. And now I have squares that I can throw into my pan. These are not quite the same size as what's already there in the pan, but for our purposes, it doesn't matter as long as everything's close to the same thickness. It will cook about evenly. You got your wine over there?
I do. Wine pairs perfectly with breakfast or dinner.
Wine pairs perfectly with having the live stream on Wednesday nights too, right?
Yeah, it's weird.
Okay, so we've got that cooking. Let's do our onion. Onion is maybe the most important thing we'll ever dice because we use it in so many different dishes. So this is the stem of the onion. This is the root. So when I say stem, I mean this. When I say root, I mean the fuzzy part on the bottom. We're going to lay it on its side like this. We're going to cut through both the stem and the root. And this is a lot of onion. We probably only are going to need a quarter of it for this omelet. So I'm going to put that piece over there. And I'm going to now peel the top gnarly layer off that has all like the dried onion skin on it. Gross. And I'm left with this beautiful guy. And now I'm going to cut the stem side off, but just a little bit of it, not all of it, just like that. So we've got onion being held together, stems off. Now the fun part. So now we turn the onion sideways and we use our knuckles and our fingers as a guide, and we're going to make slices all the way down the onion evenly apart. And I'm not going to let the blade of the knife go all the way back because I don't want the onion to fall apart. I want the back of the onion to keep the onion together. So we go like this. Okay, fail. Using our claw to keep it all together, except for that piece on the end, which we'll just ignore that happened. All right, now I've got slices all the way down. Next step is to pause for a moment and flip this. These are browning nicely, which is what we want. We don't want them to burn. So I'm going to turn that down just a tad. Back to our onion. So now we've got the slices one way. Now we need to do a slice this way. And again, I don't want it to go all the way back because I want the onion to hold it together. So I'm going right in the middle of the onion. I'm using my claw to hold it together. I'm using a very sharp knife, which always helps. And I'm going to slice about 3/4 of the way back. Done. Now I have an onion that can be perfectly diced by making cuts along the top again. So I started this way, then I went through the middle. Now I'm going back to the top. And what we're going to get is perfect onion dices. Right there. And I think that's all we need for this omelet for one person.
Someone's letting us know that they're having audio troubles, I think.
Uh-oh.
Let us know what type of audio troubles you're having.
Are we having Instagram? Are we having Instagram fail again?
Let us know. Oh, Jeff's not having any audio problems.
Okay, that's good. All right, back to our back pan here, which I've just turned on, and I'm going to add some olive oil to this guy back here.
Wait, so why olive oil now rather than grapeseed oil?
This is not going to cook as hot. I could have actually used olive oil for the potatoes too. I just grabbed for the first oil. It didn't really matter. None of this is super high heat. None of it is really searing, so olive oil is fine. I'm mixing my oils now. Doesn't matter. I like my onions a little bit soft, so I'm going to put them in now while I'm demonstrating the pepper. So these are going into our omelet pan back here, and those are going to cook down. I, of course, have forgotten my pepper. I think it's in the refrigerator.
It's over there.
Oh yeah, I believe it's over there too. Thank you. So this guy has been in the fridge for maybe a day or so too long. He's starting to get a little bit ugly, but he's perfect for an omelet. So how to dice a bell pepper. This one's fun.
What's your opinion on peppers, though? Like red, green, yellow,
They're all the
orange?
same.
I know, but...
They're all the same. The darker it is, the sweeter it is. So the reason why the green ones are the cheapest is because they get picked the soonest. They grow the shortest period of time. And they're also the most bitter. They're not really bitter, they're just not as sweet. So it goes from green to yellow to orange to red. And the red is the sweetest. So it's really just a personal preference thing. I think red bell peppers are delicious. I'm not super picky about my bell peppers. I just love bell peppers in general. I think that they're...
I think yellow and orange are my favorite.
You like yellow and orange because of the colors?
I know. I like the crunchy.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
What's your favorite pepper? Friends watching.
Friends?
Oh.
I'm going to move this over here to the side so that we actually have room on the main stage. Do a little flip. I guess we better go over that technique too in a little bit. Okay, so bell pepper. We're going to take off the stem and we're going to take off the other end, and it's not called the root. I don't know what it's called, but it's the other end because again we need these surfaces, so that goes away. This goes away. So now there's a bunch of ways to do this. You could just slice this pepper in half and use a spoon to scrape out all of the white bits. These bits are all, this is all bitter. That's why you don't want it. The seeds and the white part of the bell pepper are really bitter, so it's not very tasty, especially in an omelet. You could use it for vegetable stock for sure, but not for an omelet. So you could just cut this in half and then kind of start to cut away like the white bits yourself. But there's another fun way to do this too, which is what we showed in our YouTube video this week, which is to slice down the pepper this way, like that, turn it on its side, and then lay the blade of the knife flat on the pepper, and then slowly come down, careful, because obviously you don't want to run into your fingers, bringing it across the red pepper and cleaning it up. Now I have, in basically 2 motions, a perfectly clean pepper that I didn't have to like mangle by getting into it with a spoon. So I really like that method of opening up a pepper. I think it works a lot better. And that's the one I usually use. Same technique from this point forward as with the onion. We're just going to make our julienne strips, like matchsticks style, and then we'll turn them sideways using our knuckles or my finger again as the guide. We'll turn this sideways, make some dices, throw it into the pan with the onion, let these cook for a few minutes. That's really all the pepper that I'm going to need because I'm making a small omelet tonight. What they don't know is that we actually already just had mac and cheese for dinner. I cooked twice tonight, so this is dinner number 2.
What do you call a second dinner?
What was the Taco Bell thing from a few years ago?
That's what I'm trying to get at.
Would somebody like tell us what the
second dinner?
Tell us what late night dinner or second meal or fourth meal.
Fourth meal? No,
was
that
it fourth
doesn't have
meal?
a ring to it.
I thought it was fourth meal. I don't remember though. Somebody can help us. All right. Potatoes are coming on along nicely over here. Let's do a little stab in a second. Okay. So if you can easily stick a fork through a little piece of potato, it's cooked. If you have any resistance when you're sticking into it, it's not cooked. I know. I take it all back. I take it all back. That never happened. Okay. Things that should not be said on an Instagram live stream.
You're so red now.
I hope the internet enjoys that. I hope the internet enjoys my embarrassing moments on Instagram live stream.
There's a lot of
things you should not say.
Blushing right now.
A lot of blushing. Maybe it's just really hot in this kitchen. Maybe that's the issue.
Right.
Those potatoes are pretty much cooked. Moving on. I'm going to just turn this down to low. Let them stay warm over here. We got to come back to our main event. And we got to talk about eggs. So I took 2 eggs. I scrambled them in this little guy here. This is there's really no right, wrong way to do this. Some people add water to their scrambled eggs before they make an omelet to thin it out a little bit and be able to fold it over, roll it over itself like a French omelet. That your facial expression would suggest that sounds terrible to you.
It's really gross.
No, it's not bad. I like to add a little bit of milk, which sometimes I think makes them a little fluffy. I got a frowny face on that too. No milk. G's anti-milk. So we're gonna do nothing. We're gonna add nothing to these eggs other than salt and pepper. But we're not gonna do that until they start cooking.
Why?
We do not want to add salt to the eggs right now because that will actually cook the eggs. It will cure the eggs before they've started cooking, and that's a whole different technique, and we're not doing that today.
Uh-oh.
We're trying to make an omelet, not cured eggs. So while this is cooking, let's talk about like pan flipping technique for a little bit, because I know that we had a question about this before and it was a little intimidating for people. I know I'm not going to try and flip the whole egg in the air. That would be a terrible idea. We just end up making a huge mess. I mean, when you're sauteing. So what a lot of people try and do is this, and this does nothing. This just lifts my vegetables off the pan. Nothing is being stirred. What I actually want to do is a jerking motion. Jerk forward and back, and forward and back. Again, I'm getting this face like these are not things I should be saying on Instagram live stream. However, this is a real technique. Forward and back, and forward and back, and forward and back. And only one onion ended up on the ground. Okay. Let's get this hot again now that I've been demonstrating inappropriate things with pans on the internet.
So if you're not feeling like adventurous enough for your
Pan flipping?
pan flipping,
I could have just used a
you
spatula.
could just be a normal person and use a spatula.
Yeah, but that's not fun.
It's
like,
not, I agree. It's
I
not
don't
the
wanna-
same level of flair.
it's not. There's no. It's not. What you,
I agree.
What if you have a ton of stuff in this? Like if you're, I don't know, if you have, let's say you're stir frying, and your pan is full of stuff. You can't really get it all evenly and quickly by doing this over and over and over again. It's much more efficient to move the stuff that's on the bottom to the top and the stuff that's on the top to the bottom by doing our little flip motion, our front back flip. Yeah, another piece of onion is on my foot. Don't show my feet.
I won't. Don't worry. No one wants to see that.
No one wants to see that. Okay, another little fork test. That's soft enough. That's good to go. Adding a little bit of salt and pepper to our veggies. Beautiful. And now I'm going to turn this down to low medium, which again is totally dependent on your stove. We just don't want the eggs to cook too quickly. Our 2 eggs are going into the small nonstick pan like this. This ratio might be a little bit off. As soon as I put that in, I realize I may end up with a lot more vegetable than egg in this omelet, but that's okay. It should still be tasty. I just don't know how pretty it's going to be for the glory plating at the end. We'll find out. And I'm kind of forming it with the spatula here so that the edges crispen and I can flip it on itself. I don't really need to do that. I just want it to be as pretty for my Instagram people as possible. Which, yeah. It's already starting to cook through, you can see.
Okay, you gotta hold it more for the camera.
Hold it for the people.
And then do it for the YouTube people.
Do it for, well, no, they can see it right here, G.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
You have double camera setup.
Yeah, they got super double camera setup. That's right. Okay. So that's going to cook through. And right when the top is like just a little bit runny still, but not totally runny, I'm going to grate some cheese on there, let it cook for a minute or 2 longer, close it up, and plate it on top of my potatoes. Call it a day.
We have
Don't
a
need
comment from the audience.
Comment from the audience.
A chef Sarah worked with suggested adding a bit of orange juice to the eggs
Ooh.
before scrambling. Have you ever done that?
I have not done that before. That sounds pretty good. I wonder, yeah, that sounds like really good. I've never tried that. I'm making teeny little dices of my red bell pepper over here so that I have some pretty garnish for the top of the eggs once we plate them. This is totally unnecessary, but I gotta keep you people entertained. Gotta keep the people entertained. Okay, this is good now. Look at that. Look at that.
You gotta bring it over.
Oh,
so
right. So like it's like the look at that. All right. Top of the egg still a little bit runny.
What are we looking at? What are we looking for?
The top of the egg is still a little bit runny. Okay. But watch, I'm gonna lift it up so you guys can see. See how the bottom is just starting to solidify?
Wow.
Wow is right. Starting to get a little bit brown, a little bit crispy. We are going to take our giant hunk of Parmesan cheese, which has seen a lot of play on Instagram Live. There's been a lot of Parmesan cheese going. And gonna use our microplane and get this directly onto the center of the omelet.
So you're going center on that?
Yeah, you could do whatever. You could cover the whole thing if you wanted to. You could even wait till the end and put it on top, which maybe we'll do that as well.
More cheese the better.
The G thinks more cheese the better, and I agree. And now we're going to flip it on itself. This is the magic touch to see how.
How do you make sure it doesn't crack?
Oh, you mean like I just did?
Yeah, or like right down the center, like.
So. Not overcooking it and by not undercooking it. So if you overcook it and it gets too crispy, it'll split. And if it hasn't cooked enough yet, it hasn't set enough, then it will also fall apart. This is like, I don't know, B- work. It kind of stayed together, but not really. I used a lot of vegetables here, and not a lot of egg, not a lot of binder.
How many eggs did you use?
I used 2 eggs, but for that amount of vegetable, yeah, I think 3 would have been good. But it's still going to taste great, obviously. Didn't need to add any more salt or pepper because this has a lot of cheese in the middle of it now, and that's going to add quite a bit of saltiness. I'm going to go over here and plate my potatoes. I'll bring them over for people to see, of course.
Is there like a plating strategy to those potatoes, or just all on the plate?
I'm putting them all on the plate like Chaos Monster, and I'm going to put the eggs over them. These potatoes are actually, well, they're hot. They turn out perfectly. These potatoes are a lot prettier and a lot more even than our omelette over there. Maybe we should just retitle this whole video.
Maybe you should put the omelette on the bottom
and cover it potatoes. Yeah. I mean, probably not a bad idea at this point. Okay. I've run out of places to make a mess. Must find more places to make mess. Let's grab this guy. Slide our omelet right onto the top of the potatoes. Which, of course, is no problem with our Abio nonstick skillet.
Which one is that? Is that the small or the big?
This is the 8-inch nonstick skillet. This is structurally the same as the larger one. It's just perfect for, an omelet for 1 or 2 people, depending on how giant size of a human you are. Let's garnish with a little bit more
garnishing.
Yeah, or like little baby bell peppers.
Okay.
I mean, one thing I do like to do is if you have a bright colored ingredient that you're already using in the dish, like for example bell peppers, you can just dice those up real fine and put them on top. Cilantro is always good. Parsley is always good. Rosemary, thyme, like a nice vibrant herb, something that can go on top, usually helps. And then, of course,
more cheese, please.
More cheese, please. Just gonna sprinkle that all over.
Looks nice.
Let's see what we got. What do we think? Do we think that's breakfast for dinner right there?
Yeah, I think that looks pretty good to me. What do you guys think? Cheese, eggs, potatoes, veggies.
Would you eat it?
I would eat it.
We have to start. We always have to end that way. It's like poll to the audience. Would you eat it?
Number one, would you eat it? Number two, if you are going to eat it, would you put ketchup with it? Would you
hot sauce?
Put hot sauce with it? Would you put something else with it?
All the above.
Maybe Sarah wants more cheese.
Yeah. Yes. Sarah in Geneva, 2 peas in a pod. Always add more cheese. All right. Next week, got to do a little tease. Wait, should I tease next week? Are we there?
Well, no, what I was going to say is, like, I believe that one can get a sneak peek into what you're cooking on Wednesdays on your newsletter, right?
Yeah, yes. I should tease the tease, as it were. So follow us, aviokitchen.com. Sign up for the newsletter. Links also in the bio on Instagram. We will let you know on Monday or Tuesday what we're going to be live stream cooking on Wednesday, and we'll also have videos ahead of time to all the techniques. So if you want to follow along with us, you can check out our newsletter. You can see exactly what we're doing on YouTube ahead of time. You can learn all the techniques, and then come and see us on Wednesday night and maybe cook with us.
So is it just Wednesday nights for live streaming?
Wednesday nights is our current live stream schedule.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's really gone down in expectations.
Big upgrade for you, though.
Yeah, huh? I guess so.
We may add another night, but we're just sort of figuring it out as we go.
I've been trying to angle for dessert. So
we got a request for banana pudding.
Oh, yes.
And I think that we have overripe bananas right now. We have whole milk. We have cornstarch. So we may need to do
banana pudding. I vote for that.
Do you want to just do a special live stream this week? Like, would you commit to like a Friday night special edition for banana pudding?
I mean, for banana pudding,
you would?
I think I would probably do it. As long as there's whipped cream too.
Yes. Yeah, we have the leftover heavy cream from.
Maybe like some chocolate nibblies on top.
Mm-hmm. Yes. All of the above.
Yeah.
This is unauthorized, by the way. The powers that be have not agreed to this, but I think we're gonna do it.
We're going rogue.
We're going rogue
to make banana pudding.
And we're doing banana pudding. I think that sounds really excellent.
All right. Well, thanks for joining. Subscribe to Audio Kitchen. Join the newsletter. Learn cutting techniques.
Follow us on YouTube.
Of your omelette.
Yeah, sure.
We want to see what your omelet looks like.
Please.
What do you put in it? Do you go for red peppers? Do you go for green peppers? Orange peppers?
Or maybe not peppers at all.
Oh, maybe not peppers at all.
Maybe carrots, perhaps.
Oh, so what else would you recommend putting in the omelet?
Basically any vegetable. You could do spinach, you could do chard, you could do kale, you could do carrots, you could do red onions, you could do turnips, you could do
like
any kind of potato.
And like 3 different types of cheese.
Yeah, does that sound like something you might like?
Yeah, it sounds like something I might like.
Like mushrooms, cheese, and cheese. Okay, cool. Yeah, maybe I screwed up, and that's what I should have done tonight. Is just mushrooms and cheese.
I like the veggies. We're trying to be healthy during the week. Then we can eat banana pudding on Friday.
Except for the commitment that we just made to make banana pudding. Right? Cool.
Cool.
Thanks, guys. See you later. Excellent. Thank you, G. You're a champ.
You're welcome.
As always.